Do you remember when my content used to be good? Yeah, neither do I. So today we're looking at another Xbox One X enhanced game that was just enhanced yesterday at the time of recording this, and that is Destiny 2. This video is a brief overview, and if this video gets enough views and enough comments asking for me to go more in depth with this enhanced version of Destiny 2, then I will do a part 2. But until then, and unless that happens, we're just going to stick to the face value of the game's enhancements. So anyway, Destiny 2 was enhanced for the Xbox One X, which means it has been not remade, but bumped up specifically to match the Xbox One X's hardware. Now, the only enhancements I've read about is 4K and HDR, and you're probably thinking, well, boom, this video isn't in HDR or in 4K, so GTFO. Well, the thing is, I don't have a 4K HDR capture card, nor do I have the money for one, nor do I have the audacity to ask for one for the holidays. And I believe the only 4K capture card right now that's on the market that's notable is the Elgato 4K Pro whatever, and I don't even know if my computer will work with that. So what you are seeing here is what would be considered super sampled 4K. It scales the 4K image quality down to 1080p. It looks crisper, it looks sharper, it looks better, but it's not obviously native 4K, and that, yeah, obviously it'll look better on a 4K HDR display, but I don't have the capture card for that. But with some games, I noticed massive improvements with my Xbox One X enhanced games, like Call of Duty World War II and Homefront and Halo 5. I noticed right away they were looking much better on the Xbox One X. Better frame rates, better lighting, better texture quality, higher resolution, faster loading times, and even games like Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, which are not Xbox One X enhanced, unfortunately, I noticed a really massive increase in their performance. So let's talk more about Destiny 2. So let's talk about loading times first. Are you going to be seeing massively improved loading times with Destiny 2? No. Me just playing solo, it was pretty much the exact same load times. Maybe it shaved off 5 seconds here or there, or maybe I saved a total of, in my entire play session today, of like an hour and a half. Maybe it shaved off like 40 seconds, so I'll get 40 seconds of my life back, I guess. Now, I'm not a technical expert, do not quote me on this, feel free to correct me, but I believe the reason Destiny 2 doesn't really load that much faster is a lot of the loading is server side. Connecting to Destiny servers, connecting you to a session, I think takes up the bulk of the time when it comes to Destiny 2. Either way, short answer, do you get better loading times on Destiny 2? I didn't find that to be the case, and you're probably also wondering, what about the inventory? When you pull up your inventory, does it load a lot faster? And unfortunately, I can't tell you that it does either. One of the things I guess I just have to make extremely clear is that nothing with Destiny 2 feels faster. The loading times don't feel faster, pulling up your inventory doesn't feel faster, nothing feels more responsive in that sense. And when it comes to frame rate, I couldn't get it to drop, but it didn't feel necessarily smoother, so it's probably a more stable frame rate, but it's really nothing to write home about. The list of things you shouldn't write about goes on, because unless you have an HDR10 display or a Dolby Vision display that allows for HDR10, and that HDR10 screen is large and 4K and you can sit a ways back from it, I'm sorry, I don't think you're going to be noticing a big difference, and that's mostly due to this game's engine and art style. A lot of Destiny's settings and backdrops almost seem painted, and that's just the art style that they're going for. It's using a spin-off of the Halo Reach engine, which also did the exact same thing. That means even if you bump up the native resolution, you're not going to be getting this massive leap in picture quality. And as you can see here, shadows load in at the same distance that they did normally. I should say they detail at the same distance they did normally. And texture quality right here you can see is not that much better at all. Now, super sampled 4K onto a 1080p screen is not the same as native, but it's way better than full HD. It is way better, trust me. If you haven't experienced it, you might think that's bullshit, but honestly, it beats 1080p in the ass. It beats it in the ass. What does that mean? This is why I should probably always write a script. Anyway, I don't see a huge benefit. Let me just like go off the cuff here a little bit. I don't see a huge benefit, alright? Like, I can tell the resolution is sharper, Especially when it comes to little things like stars, sparks, particle effects. Like, I can tell there's a lot more being rendered in there, a lot more detail being rendered in there. But I still see pretty much the exact same lighting, give or take a few times that I maybe thought I was seeing improved lighting, but I don't know, I went and watched some Destiny 2 gameplay on the Xbox One, you know, basic Xbox One, and it was doing the same things. The biggest leap I could really see was right here with the leaves, and I pray to God that the bitrate isn't so choked that this is going to look like a blurry mess to you guys, because there's a lot of detail here, a lot of little subtle detail, and YouTube hates this, TVs hate this, and unless you're looking at this from its source file, this might look a little bit jagged and fuzzy to you, kind of like when there's a bunch of confetti after a football game. You know, there's too much data on screen. Okay, enough rambling, I guess. These leaves look brilliant to me in this super sampled 4K. It looks much tighter. Keep in mind, the super sampled 4K thing might not sound as special. It sounds like almost like upscale 1080p, but trust me, it's not anywhere near that. And I'm really impressed with it because my PC couldn't handle this resolution that this game's playing at. Well, I'd probably rather play Destiny 2 in 1080p 60 than super sampled 4K 30, if I was going to be completely honest, but this is a great visual upgrade in general when referring to super sampled 4K. With Destiny, its art style, its texture quality, it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. It didn't reinvigorate the game for me visually when I booted it up, and it didn't impress me like Halo 5 or COD World War II did, or Final Fantasy 15 did. So after my play session with the enhanced version, going to different planets and walking around and shooting aliens in various different ways, my conclusion is this: if you have a big 4K HDR TV, this is nothing but an upgrade, especially if you have the Xbox One X, but it doesn't blow me away. It's not a whole new way to look at the game. It's not PC level. I honestly wish that they would have pushed for 60 FPS. Hell, if they had to say it was 900p 60 FPS, I'd be fine with that. If there was a 900p 60 FPS mode for Destiny 2, I guarantee you I would use that more than anything else, even if I had a 4K monitor. So, I'd like to say I'm sorry that I do not have a 4K capture card, I do not have a 4K screen, and I do not have a way to capture gameplay directly from my Xbox hard drive. So, I'm very sorry about that, guys. I'm just talking about what I can see from the enhanced version. Sometimes these enhanced versions really impress me, other times they do exactly what I expect, and this was a little bit underwhelming. I was kind of hoping to like start noticing things I didn't normally notice, and instead I just was like, oh, it's much sharper, it's a little less blurry, you know? Okay, neato. But on my downstairs 4K HDR TV, it looks a lot nicer. But of course, it's 4K HDR, but that doesn't mean the game itself is really that much more impressive. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And let's just talk about the tech around Destiny 2. We already know Destiny 2 is kind of dehydrated when it comes to content. But anyway, I'll see you when I see ya. Goodbye.